It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this magical, robust lifestyle show. I would like to thank each one of our listeners that is listening to this podcast on the numerous different platforms. I am just so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And as I said, you are in for one magical show today, as I have with me my amazing returning diva, Ann Clossing. And her and I are going to chat about how to shine. Oh my, will you ever get some golden nuggets in this show? And with this, Ann, would you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Well, thank you for always having me back again, Joyce. It's always a pleasure to be here in this arena of people. And I am an author, thanks to Kate Butler. So I'm an international best-selling co-author, working on my own work and hoping to get that done this year. That is a work in progress. And I always tell people, if you want to heal, write your memoir. Write your memoir. You'll do some healing. And the fun part of what I get to do is I'm a channeler, and I channel the soul of my clients so that they can level up, go to the next level of themselves. And I have such a joy in doing that.
Awesome. Oh, that's incredible. Well, and I know you have been on some different podcasts, kind of almost like a little series here in the last month's time. And I kind of, from what I've gathered, they are kind of radiating on how to help women to shine. And maybe not only women, men also. But we kind of focus on how to help the women to shine. And the men can pick up the golden nuggets from that. So through your series, through the other women that you have collaborated with, and heard talking, what are some of the golden nuggets that you would feel would be good to share with our listeners on how to help them to shine their light?
One of the main things that I advise people to do in that situation where you stop playing life small. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop telling yourself that, oh, I can't have that, or no, I don't think I can really do that. So how do you play? How do you shine? And as children, we shine magnificently because that's how we came into our beings. And we got what we want because we screamed and everyone came to our beck and call for the most part. Some people didn't have that situation. But as a baby, you were taken care of by your parents or a caregiver who, for the most part, I'm going to speak in generalizations, they loved them or loved them to the best of their abilities. And you got what you wanted, basically. You wanted love, you wanted to be held, you wanted to be fed. And then somewhere along the line, as we grow up, we were told you shouldn't act that way, or you can't have that for whatever reason. And as a child, we start, developing these limited beliefs about ourselves. So I would say being visual to yourself, being true to yourself, and being able to see those things. So to take you back a little bit, you're talking about what I was involved with. Debbie Prediger she's in with a mastermind with Dean Gracioso. And Dean Gracioso is tied in with Tony Robbins. And I apologize, I can't talk to their relationship. I've not taken Tony's things. I think he's a magnificent person. I just studied under different people. But Debbie got involved with Dean, and out of her masterminding with Dean was she wanted to be this connector, wanted to get this group of women together. So it was a challenge within a challenge.
Mhm.
So she advertised it. I applied. I got in. And it was one of those moments in the first time of my life where I knew I was in before I even knew I was in. Those are the things to pay attention to, are the things that you're guided to. And I knew that I needed to be visible. In order to reach more people, in order to help more people, I need to be visible. So this challenge birthed two things: a Facebook group called Be Extraordinary Network, and it's specifically for women, and that is on Facebook. And out of that, these group of 10 wonderful, beautiful women, including Debbie, we came up with this challenge to this group within the group, plus we advertised it out and amongst, and that challenge was shine your unique light. And what we started to get the momentum going was visibility. What does that word mean to you? So I will answer it, for myself. To be visible is to get myself out in front of the camera, do as many lives as possible, get out there, be seen, do these podcasts, and be seen so that I can help people. That's my personal. Now, on a spiritual side, you cannot not be visible. Spirit knows you like none other. Spirit knows what you're feeling. In the human world, you can mask it, and you can mask your emotions and be fake and pretend to be happy when deep down inside you're dying. But spirit knows what you're feeling. So you're always advertising. That's what I say. Well, I don't like marketing. Well, you're always marketing. You're marketing your state of being. So what state of being are you in? So becoming emotionally aware of how you feel, so you're always visible. You cannot not be visible. Being visible to your true self. Do you know with clarity what your authentic self is? What is that burning desire within you that you want to make visible? And that's when I go back to, what did you used to do as a kid that lit you up? What were those childhood things that you used to do that lit you up? So for me, it was my animals, it was my pets, it was being out in nature as much as possible. I loved horses. My dad always spoiled us. We had any pet imaginable, from all the little runts that he'd bring in. We would do our best to try and get them to make it, but we all know when you live on a farm, when you have livestock, you also have dead stock. So it's those live things that particular little one just really wasn't ready their time. But that was a good life lessons for me, was tending to those animals, and the ones that did make it, they were your pride and joy and became your pet. So those are the things that lit me up. Plus drawing. For some, maybe it's writing. Ask yourself, what did you used to do as a kid that you love to do that you're not doing in your adult life? That is part of it. Or what did you do in your high school years that you really liked to do, but maybe one teacher told you you'd be no good at it? Maybe that was public speaking, and that teacher rings in the back of your mind. It's not truth. It's one opinion. It's not truth. And I always love to hear those stories of where someone was told they can't or they shouldn't. And then, they're the person out there that's making $1 billion now, doing exactly what they were told they couldn't do. It's those things that you don't like to do. So for me, I've been putting off LinkedIn because that was back in my business days as a conservationist. Then I moved into retail ag, and that was what I knew of LinkedIn, was I had that old outdated model. And now that I look at it, that's where I'm going to be moving my social media platform to. I will still have a presence in Facebook, but I am feeding LinkedIn. So it's, what are those things that you're putting off and you're trying to hide that maybe you should lean into and make visible?
Oh my goodness, girl. You said there were so many golden nuggets in just what you said in the very beginning, because that stop being small. And like what I go back to then, when you feel that way, who made you feel that way? Was it a teacher? Was it a parent that always said, no, you can't do that? No, you're not good enough to do that. No, that was their opinion. That's not who you are. And once you realize and go inside to your heart and find out who you are and not what the rest of the world thinks you are or what they think you should be doing, and you go back to those true passions that you had as a child, because I so relate with you, because animals and nature, there's my passions. And that's what I love to this day. And the other one was the spirit always knows. And what is that little voice that the spirit's trying to tell you? Like you said, you were trying to avoid LinkedIn. Was it the spirit that kind of guided you that that's where you need to go? And in your mind, you knew you should, but you had an image of what LinkedIn was. And how many of us create that image in our minds and don't go to our hearts to find out what we're really supposed to be doing. So I was like, oh my goodness, there was so much more, but those were just some of the highlights I heard.
The LinkedIn story is kind of funny because I never had I think I was linked in because of our Pioneer dealership
Hmm.
and I could get into it. It just I never set up an account or anything like that. And I'm
Yeah,
so glad I didn't back then because
right.
I really don't want,
Mm-mm.
not that they're not welcome, they are to what I do, but it's like that's not my ideal client.
Right.
And so I had one of my co-authors in the I Love Me Because I Love You Because book. Jeannie Darty is a financial person, and she was hosting a masterclass through LinkedIn. So I had to get a LinkedIn account, and I kind of got in there, and it looked like a lot. So I'm telling myself, you can't do this, Anne. So I just went in,
Mhm.
I kind of fed it a little bit, and I went in, I did the class. Then this group of women get together for this challenge, and there's like half of them that are using LinkedIn. I was like, oh boy, now I got to be serious about LinkedIn. So I put it in Chat GPT and it's like, okay, what do I use for this? And so Chat GPT took the work out of it for me.
Mhm.
And that's what I fed it with.
Yeah.
And then one of the gals in our group, our co-creators, Carol Pilkington, her coach is a LinkedIn specialist who happened to be having a free masterclass last week. And I took that. So I'm just like, yes, LinkedIn. So spirit, they're so patient, they're so loving
Uh-huh.
and kind, but you got to think that they've got to do some eye rolls every now and then. That would be an eye roll moment for
Yeah.
them. I think, oh,
Yeah.
she finally did it.
She finally followed what we've been telling her to do. And as you were saying that, I could just feel the angels and the spirits were opening these doors, because it was the lady, and then there was a coach that was doing a free class. And it was just like stepping stones to get you where you needed to be. And when you start to follow that, oh my goodness, how the stones are put right there, or the doors open, however you want to call it. But that's how I feel when you shared that little story.
So this is what's digging through. Visibility leads to clarity.
Hmm.
Make it visible so that you can see it. And sometimes that takes an extra person to make it visible.
Yeah.
So I am a firm believer in accountability partner or a mentor of some way,
Hmm.
shape, or
Yeah.
form. And an accountability partner to me always leads to friendship, but it didn't start that way in the beginning. It's maybe someone you met through a class and you created a bond, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you want to be an accountability partner. So what an accountability partner is, is that's something I learned through Jack Canfield's group it's somebody to hold you accountable. So you're going to have weekly meetings or monthly meetings or whatever you decide to do. And you're going to set these goals. And, if you're saying that I'm doing these three things for the next week, the following week, when you check in, that person without judgment, hold you accountable. They don't nag you when you don't come through, but they will press you on, okay, what was it that made you procrastinate? What's the resistance? Why is this not getting done? What resistance? Like me in LinkedIn, what's the resistance with that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the trip of the ego. It's something new, or it's something that you don't like to do. So it's like me procrastinating with cleaning. I do not find the joy in cleaning. So it's it's me pushing through it, because when I get done with cleaning, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so much better.
Oh
So it's
man,
like,
can I
what's
relate?
the resistance?
Yeah, it's that resistant, and dishes is another thing for me. I keep putting them off. Nah, I don't want to do them right now. I'll go do something else. But they're still there when I come back.
Exactly.
And then once I get it done, I'm like, oh my, the kitchen looks so much better now.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
procrastination is what I tell myself that I do with that. But yeah, how true that is. And you can put it into so many aspects of life, and especially something new or change. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like change. I can't handle change."
Mhm.
Well, to me, you have to look at change on the positive side, because there are so many, look at the potential of what can come from that change,
Yeah.
rather than looking at the negatives of why you don't want to change. But to me, it's the mind. It's telling you the negatives, and your heart's telling you the positives. So,
Yeah. And I'm losing. I had so many things with that. So visibility
mhm,
and change, you cannot not change.
yeah.
Same thing with visibility. You cannot not be visible. So you're always changing at the cellular level. So you're not the same person you were when you were a baby. You're not the same person of when you were 10, 12. You aren't the same person you were yesterday. So you're always changing. So lean into the resistance to that, but also the visibility, making it visible, the resistance, make the resistance visible. Because when you make the resistance visible and you find out what it really is behind the procrastination or the resistance, whatever it is, when you can really truthfully look at it, usually the reason behind you not doing it or acting on it is false. And when we truly embrace and love ourselves, we shine. And that's the shine part. When you shine, now this came through either last week or the week before. I channeled Archangel Jophiel when I did my live. This was 2 weeks ago, I believe. And the way she put that was, when you live from the heart and you are truly connected with your authentic self, you radiate out
Mhm.
30 miles.
Mhm.
When you are just meh, you're still radiating out. It's like a 6 foot around you. So your frequency, but when you're shining, and it says, say you're at a satisfied level, you're satisfied with life, you're happy. That's like a 3 mile radius. But when you're truly shining and living from your heart, it's like a 30 mile radius. So when you look at the energetics of when you come together as community, then it's coming out through your energetic fields 30 miles, but then you're connecting with 30 miles and they're connecting with 30 miles, and so on and so on and so on. That is why you can send energy from your heart over to Ukraine or China or wherever. That's why it is so important not to be living in a state of fear about what might happen, but to see those areas as healed. So seeing California as healed, seeing Ukraine thriving, seeing our governments thriving and not arguing and fighting. And when you're in that mode, spirit is just like, woohoo, they get it. And that's a challenge.
Mhm.
That's a challenge when you're just focused on yourself. Because if you're not feeling well, say you have cancer, that's a tough one. Are you going to be the disease, or are you going to be the vibrancy that your soul is? And when you can be in the vibration of the soul, that's when you can hear stories like Mary Morrissey, where it's a medical anomaly because she healed herself. That's a miracle because you've connected to the power within you that is a power like none other. No army can face that.
And that's so true because the power lies within. And my horses have told me so much that the power lies within. And be present. Be be where you're at. Be there, be present, and feel that power that can shine from inside of you, from your heart. And yeah, when you're living from the heart, it's amazing. And just like you said, what the one lady did, it's amazing because she believed in herself. And when you
Yes.
believe in yourself and love yourself, it's totally amazing what you can do and how you can shine and help others by
Yes.
just your light shining out to them.
And
And yeah,
I had the privilege of training under her for a year, and it was magical.
oh, I bet. Oh, that would have been magical. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and I love the ability of people that can take the study, the theology study of all religions, and she has looked at all of them, and bring them back into a place of an energetic and just bring it all the so many lessons. Just the beauty of the diversity of what's out there and what's around us. So instead of being afraid of it, it's like let them be. Let them be who they are
Yeah.
and learn.
I always say instead of being so afraid of the challenges sometimes in life, embrace them for the
Yeah.
person you're going to come, to the person you'll become when you get through this challenge. Because
Yes.
the spirit's right there to help you. Spirit, angels, source, whatever you want to call it, they're right there guiding you all the way.
Yeah. And I always tell people too that, if you're in an angry phase where something not nice happened to you, it's okay to be angry.
Mhm. Yeah.
Process it. And if you need, I call it a dump dock. If you need a dump dock to just rip on the universe will let you, and then thank them and repurpose it and say, please take this away because this is not me. I'm giving it to you. And then burn it, shred it, bury it, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. And oh, I so agree to feel those emotions. Don't just try to, if you are upset about something, don't just try to mask it and bury it down.
Mhm.
Let them come out and deal with them. And as angels have told me so many times, it's okay. You
Yeah.
need to experience that to rise up to the next level.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, how true it is.
And I can't remember if I mentioned this on our last visit together, but if you were driving down the road of emotions and you're angry, it's okay to pull off at that rest area of angry and and get rid of it
Yeah,
and then get back on and be on your happy journey.
yes. And to keep moving forward and don't stay in that one state.
Right. You're
If
not
you're
gonna,
angry or
build a house
fearful.
over there.
Yeah, don't camp
Stay
out
there for
there
10
very long.
years.
Exactly. Because then I always feel that emotion kind of overtakes you. Your
Oh,
mind comes into play, your ego comes into play, and you can't even see out of it anymore.
no,
And
I live that and I do not recommend that.
no, no, it's not a good place to be. No,
Mm-mm.
and it's not good for you because to me, it's stressful on your body and things start to happen then. Your body says, we got to release this some way.
Yeah, and it is playing, then you're playing small.
Yeah, you're playing small, very small.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
goodness.
fear.
Yeah, you're living in fear. And oh man, fear can grab a hold of you way too quickly and way too fast if you
Mhm.
do not become aware of it, acknowledge it. I always say acknowledge it and then let it go. Just purge it out of your body and
Yeah. So it's
enjoy.
like the visibility part of it. It's
Uh-huh.
okay to pull over at anger, look at the view from anger, but then leave it there.
Right.
Keep back on and go to the next.
Yeah. Say bye. I'm on my way.
Yep.
Oh. Oh, and this has just been, there's been so many golden nuggets left by you through this chat. And our chats always go too fast. I'm like, where does the time go so quickly?
It does. It does fly.
It just flies. And you've left so much. Like I said, the first 10 minutes, you dropped so many golden nuggets for our listeners to take in on. And before we do close this show, I would love to have you back again to continue sharing with our listeners more of the knowledge that you have learned, experienced yourself over the years.
I will be back.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You heard it, listeners. Plus, would you please share with our listeners the best ways that they can connect with you, Anne?
The best way to connect with me, email is always safe. It's because I do check my spam folder regularly in case somebody gets dumped over there for whatever reason. But my email is ann@annclossing.com. So that would be ANNKLOSSING.com. So ann@annclossing.com. And I will give you my LinkedIn address too,
Okay.
Joyce, so that you've got that. You can add that.
Awesome.
You can go to my website if you want to be on my email list. And that, I believe, is at the bottom. If you scroll to the bottom, you can click on that link and get onto my weekly subscription. And then I'm holding monthly classes now. I've decided to do monthly, at least through spring. We'll see hey, I'm not my own boss anymore. If my guides tell me to host one, I'll be hosting one. So the next one's coming up February 18th.
Mhm.
And I will have that posted again on my email list and on Facebook and in LinkedIn as well. So
Beautiful. Oh, how
those are
awesome.
fun. I have fun with those. Those are so much fun. I connect you with your guardian angel. So those are fun.
Those are fun. And these are all done remote through a Zoom call, correct?
There's a registration link and then they're a private Zoom session. So you don't have, everybody coming in. And so far they've been relatively small and very intimate. And each time it's a sensory meditation. So we take you through the five senses so that your guardian can connect with you. So I'll give you a smell. So like say you smell lemon, then you know your guardian angel's around. But each time I take you through this, they prime me different ways. So depending on who's in the group, if there's a little clearing that needs to be done, then we'll go through the Reiki centers and do a little clearing before we go into that heart space.
Oh my goodness.
Your guardian. So a lot of fun with those. We do have fun, and I'm getting repeat people because the more you practice that meditation, the more connection you get.
Yeah.
It's just like building a muscle. So
Yeah. More you practice,
build your
more.
spiritual muscle.
Yep. Oh, I love it. Build your spiritual muscle. Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, Anne, I want to wish you an absolutely magical day and magical times till you and I connect again on our Robust Lifestyle show.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And I want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this magical show with our amazing diva, Ann Klossing. And you heard she will be back again. She will return in March. My goodness, I almost said February, but this is February. So please share this show with your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember some of the beautiful golden nuggets that Anne left with us. Stop being small. Go back and figure out who gave you that programming to make you feel small and let go of it. Just like she said, if you need to stop and let go of that anger, let go of it. And just be visual and let that unique light shine because each and every one of you have a beautiful, unique light to shine into this world. And remember to be your authentic self and love yourself and live from the heart. And with that, I want to wish all of you a magical, magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Share your love with your animals and give them that great big extra hug as they so deserve it. And remember to be kind to the animals as well as the humans also. And until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.